Hey, welcome to my channel, or welcome back, loyal viewers. I'm Carrie, the nosy housefrau, and today I'm sticking my nose in on the hot topic of Shannon Rose's tearful Instagram story. It's about a minute long and very disturbing, and I'll get to that. But I just wanted to say the reason I'm chiming in on this is because so many of you have followed the story along, even watched my playlist, and a lot of people want to hear what I have to say about this latest video of hers. We're not going to mention Fruit Cup, as Dustin has so aptly named him. I don't think he should come up in this, but Shannon had put out a video, and well, here, I'll just show it to you.
People are saying things about me that are so far from true. Just like crazy things like I had dogs lick my private parts. I've talked about this like online. Every couple years it comes up and I talk about it, but it's never been this bad. I've had people showing up at my house like trying to take our cat away, like trying to take my baby away, like I'm trying to go through IVF again and I'm trying to like grow my family, and this is like literally ruining and destroying me, like not just physically but emotionally. I'm just fucking broken. And everyone's like, just take a break, take a break. I can't take a fucking break because this is my job. This is how I support my family. I literally cannot handle it. This is like the type of stuff that makes me just not want to exist anymore. It's so messed up what people will do. Just try to like just literally destroy them. I hope you're happy it fucking works.
Okay, normally I would feel very bad for somebody crying like that. It's hard to watch, but you have to excuse me. I've been filming this. I've been trying to film this response a little bit and I'm getting the giggles, which is not a good time because you just saw her crying. I've been attempting this a few times. Okay, but this is what keeps making me laugh. To give it some perspective, this woman has a rap song out now. I'm sorry. I guess she's trying to be a rap star, and it's called Respect. Aretha Franklin, she is not, and I don't know if you've seen the video, but she's dressed like, you know, kind of wearing like the Sporty Spice clothing, and here are the lyrics. I've got a story, I'm gonna tell it, matter of fact, I'm gonna sell it. And stuff like a million people supporting my name, and you may not like me, but you have to respect the game, and all this stuff. You know, what else is going to come out about this woman? Am I going to find out she was an M13? She's like, she's secretly a Colombian drug lord? I don't know, but I just want you to also remember that she had a video 3 months ago that someone was trying to take her baby. So this is not the first time she's actually spun this narrative. You've got to remember, she tells whoppers, don't let the tears fool you. She does things for views. She does things for money. And right now she is upset because her livelihood is threatened. She doesn't feel bad for any of the people she's hurt. She doesn't explain what happened. She's upset because she's hated. Because what usually works on everybody else in her life isn't working for her on the internet. Okay, so whether you think that's real or not is a question. And I think it's a natural instinct for us to automatically feel sorry for somebody crying. At least it is for me. But I feel like many of us have been put in a terrible position. Due to recent events, I am forced to be something I don't like to be. Unsympathetic. When someone makes mistakes because they want something very badly, I get it. It's human to want the best for yourself. And even though I do think people tend to pursue the wrong things in order to be happy, I don't want to hold someone to an unfair standard. I don't want to give people less understanding than I would want for myself. Because I am, air quotes, a drama channel, that does not mean I'm a gossip channel. That is not synonymous with the word drama. There's commentary, there's discussion, there are observations about human behavior. Those things belong at the table. And I am not, by virtue of being a drama channel, unfair. I think it's important to be understanding of people even when they upset you. I try to look at it from all sides. But I know that not the longest day I live would I be this unethical. It's not supposed to be an effort to be honest with people. So I feel justified in criticizing these people for their fake drama, when I wouldn't do that for money or fame or anything. I have more respect for people than to become a puppeteer. I can't prove it, but I can just tell you I know I'm not for sale. Someone who lies to their audience for views has made a decision to abandon scruples. Shannon didn't care when she made people worry about her. I saw the tweets of women who thought she was being stalked. Then she made a mockery of mental illness, and I know many people who struggle with that, and real stalker victims. When she was held to task, she made a 4-minute apology video in which she apologized to Nick Snyder. But I noticed she was unwilling to address specifically what she did to him. He was a friend to her, and she lied to his face in those DMs, saying the fake drama was real. When he gave her a chance to come clean, she stuck to her story. And she had no problem doing that. As much as it does suck to have to apologize, you must not only apologize, you have to show the person you're apologizing to that you know what you did. That means facing it and saying it out loud. If you muster the courage to say what you did wrong, people may have the confidence that you've learned from it and will not do it again. It's also the right thing to do. And Shannon doesn't seem to be one of those people who takes that into consideration if there's no consequences. After her apology video, she promptly blocked Nick on Twitter. Nick tweeted out a request that people not send hate. And then Shannon had to say, also, if you have to state to not send hate to someone, you are clearly doing or saying something that you know will send hate. Aside from being a complete logical fail, that was Shannon throwing gasoline on the only potential olive branch she was going to get in this whole mess. If you don't know, Shannon is on the hot seat for having done some dark and disgusting films. Satan Productions, take one. I don't know if Shannon partook of the actual things she's been accused of. I will link Messy Mark's video below, but I do know she could have addressed that in her teary video because that's the thing people are coming at her the hardest. If she hadn't done anything to animals, why not tell people what it was? Seeing is believing, and people believe what they saw. Now, I wasn't able to look, so someone set me straight if I'm wrong, but having watched a lot of movies filmed, I'm aware of how well production can achieve something called cheats. Let me know if this is possible, because although I watched Messy Mark's video, I watched 2 of his videos on this subject, I couldn't watch certain parts, even blurry. I know he was sensitive about blocking that out, but I was unable to watch it. I apologize. I had to pause because, for reasons unknown to me, my cat, who never meows, was standing next to me meowing, and my son just went to take care of his needs, check down the boxes. What do you need? Food, litter, what is it? Just like a baby. So that's kind of weird, isn't it? Cats, they sense these things. Maybe I was getting a little stressed talking about this because I love critters so much. But even though I know Mark was careful to blur out the sensitive images, I had to still watch through my fingers and probably miss some stuff. So let me know, is it possible that they used a cadaver dog? And I don't mean the ones that smell and find dead bodies. I mean the ones that are taxidermied. Also, could it have been a stuffed animal? And what I'm saying is, politely, I'm skeptical of that particular claim. Respectfully skeptical. Don't come for me. That's just how I feel. I haven't seen evidence that she actually did that so much as all of the other disgusting things, which, believe me, were enough to be considered vile. Particularly the racism and the stuff that she did that was anti-Semitic, which is just beyond belief. Like the Nazi stuff is just like, you know what? Yeah, it's always going to be too soon with that kind of thing. Always going to be too soon. There's some stuff you're not supposed to do for any amount of money, but everybody has their price, I guess. Some of us just would never dream of doing something like that. I have a new view of Shannon, and this video would have garnered a lot of compassion from me in the past, but looking at her with my skepticals on, I believe she's never sincere. She's very good at pretending. I think one of the reasons Shannon is upset is because she's always been able to control the flow of information about her past. Whenever push comes to shove, when Shannon's back is against the wall, that's when she shows her ugly side. The message is clear. You're not allowed to criticize Shannon Rose. Nobody is allowed to say a thing against her, and it's never really happened. She's been able to get through so many things by playing the sweet, innocent person, and now she's being held accountable for her actions, and she's flipping out. And it's just, to me, it's the adult version of a child's temper tantrum. Because all this stuff works for her. She's got this princess complex, and none of us are allowed to criticize her or say a bad thing. I saw footage at the behest of one of my viewers. that had Shannon speaking to a judge over the phone. This is available on YouTube. And she was so smarmy and inappropriate with the judge because she wanted her way. The other party was willing to settle. She was not. They were at an impasse because Shannon wanted to take out the thumbscrews. She has no compassion when she thinks somebody has done something to her. But God forbid anybody say that she did something questionable and she's in hysterics, and everybody should feel sorry for her. I refuse to. And I get no schadenfreude out of seeing somebody in that position where everybody dislikes you. Even if you've earned it, that's not something I can take pleasure in. But there is no way I am going to completely forget the compassionless way she treated everybody else. And I'm just not buying it. Now, I get a little passionate when I think I'm shining a light on the truth in a situation, but please don't think for one moment that it's that deep for me. I've got 99 problems and the net ain't one. So the last thing I'm going to do is lose any sleep over somebody who's in a beach house when Grey Gardens here is falling apart. So let's just skip to my advice to Shannon. Someday people will take my good advice, but it just doesn't seem to be happening. If I were to advise Shannon from this point on, my advice would be stop lying. That's the first thing I'd tell her. Stop giving vague answers because people are on to you. If you hurt your audience, admit you were being self-serving and be able to say those words, self-serving. Don't try saying weak things like you thought your audience would be entertained. That's a cop-out. People are not going to laugh at a joke that only you and your husband are in on. How long has she been doing this that she can't even stop with the half-truths? You know, if you want people to accept your apology, here's a thought. Give a sincere, good apology. Now, in case you're wondering why it is that I'm not willing to feel more compassion for her, I want you to remember what she just said in that video. People are coming to our house. They want to take my baby. They want to take my cat. Really? Is child services at your house? Because if that was true, you'd be giving details. You wouldn't be vague. And as is always the case with Shannon, the answers are in what she does not say. Any person who had to deal with child services at their house, and thankfully that's never been me, glad I'm vlogging after my son's grown, but anybody who's had to deal with that, and that's a real threat with the wackos out there, they'll tell you right away what happened. They'll tell you CFS was at the house. You know, they will tell you all of the details because it really happened. Nobody knocked on Shannon's door and asked for her cat. I wouldn't be surprised if I got like a private DM from her cat saying, get me the heck out of here, and then I'll have to revisit that and see what we can do. I'm sorry, I'm a little punchy. But, you know, a guy probably delivered a pizza and said, oh, cute cat, and that became that story. You know what I mean? Like, people just always get a little inspiration. Every good lie has an element of truth. Nobody came for your cat. Nobody came for your baby. I don't know how her address got leaked. A lot of people ask me, was it the real address? And I can tell you, yes, it was. Not only did I see it on Mango's, somebody posted it under one of my videos. I really think, and I cannot prove this, but I think it came from the Fruit Cup camp. But that's just, you know, like I said, you lay down with dogs, you get fleas. Which I said, by the way, without knowing her past in film. That was just an unhappy coincidence. I have a talent for sticking my foot in my mouth. So, if anybody has any other questions about how I feel about this, I'll be happy to answer you. But I wanted to put this together and give you my thoughts. I actually didn't even think this would be 10 minutes, but that's been happening lately. Get chomping at the bit. So I want to say thank you very much if you've listened this far. I certainly do appreciate you. I hope the next video is more uplifting and fun. I'm sorry this was a little bit of a serious topic, but I really wanted to wrap up the Shannon thing with a bow the way that I did the Fruit Cup Kid. Thank you, Dustin, Dailey, for that name. That's perfect. It's a perfect moniker. And I wanted to say thank you, everybody else, subscribers old and new. I appreciate you more than I can say. Thank you to all of my new Patreon people who help support my channel and allow me to do more of what I love. I hope to put out better, more frequent content for everybody. And please do consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell and telling your friends about us and allowing me to live well, which would really upset some very bad people who don't want to see that happen. So thank you very much, everybody, and until next time, Hausfrau out.